Hello everybody, welcome to PowerShell 5.0. I am Meher Deepthi from Florida Institute of Technology. After watching this video, you will be familiar using the PowerShell commands, creating the scripts and classes of PowerShell, and also using the PowerShell IDE. What is PowerShell? It is an object-oriented programming language and interactive command line for shell command. PowerShell was designed to automate system tasks such as batch processing and create systems management tools for commonly implemented process. What can we do with PowerShell? PowerShell offers a variety of ways to automate tasks including commands, scripts, and classes. Commands are very small .NET classes that appear as system commands. Scripts are combinations of commands and associated logic. We can also instantiate standard .NET classes and use them in our PowerShell. Microsoft provides IDE for PowerShell to debug and run scripts and classes for developers. To use IDE, say PowerShell ISE in your start command and the IDE opens. If you see the right corner of the IDE, this is the list of all the commands that PowerShell provides. Out of this huge number of commands, today I will be discussing 3 commands with you. They are compare object, show command for each object. Compare object compares two objects and provides the equality between those two objects. Show command provides the GUI of a command that you request and all the parameters of the command. For each object can be piped with any of the command to manipulate the command's result by each object. Coming to the scripts, I will be helping you write 3 scripts. First one is the find pattern that takes the pattern and path from user and searches this pattern in the path and provides the list of all files that has this pattern. The other one is search if the file exists in the given path. It takes the file name and path from user and searches the entire path to see if this file name exists. Also, to help you write a logic in PowerShell, I'll be explaining the script for sum of n numbers. PowerShell 5.0 provided classes. So in this tutorial, I'll be helping you write a custom class, that is a class of your own, and also to use the .NET classes in PowerShell. For that, I'll be taking example of time zone class and array class. Show command creates Windows PowerShell commands in a graphical command window. For example, when I say show command and I give the name of the command as get content, the properties of get content, the attributes will be shown, and once we provide the attributes and say run that command, this show command runs this get content command and provides us the result. These all are the parameters this get content will be taking. So I'll be providing the path of this file. Suppose I want to get the content of my test.txt file. I'll provide the entire path of this test.txt and I'll say run. So this is the content of my test.txt. Let me double check. Yes, this is the content of my test.txt. The compare object command compares two sets of objects. One set of object is the reference set and the other set is the difference set. Suppose I want to compare two files, content of two files, and I want to check whether they are equal, whether they are not equal, and I also want to check the case sensitivity of those objects. I can provide this compare object and get it done. Let me see. I'll show you the compare object in the GUI so that you'll have all the parameters. See, this is the difference object, reference object. If I want the case sensitivity to be measured, so I give the case sensitive, exclude different, include equal, pass through. So I'll give my difference object as test.txt and reference object as test1.txt that I created, and I want to measure the case sensitivity as well, and I say run. So the side indicator says that equal to or greater than and less than or equal to. What does that mean? Means test1 has some words that are greater than that are less than the test, and vice versa. The third command that I will be showing is the for each object. For each object command provides a way to loop through and perform an action on each item in a collection. It is used when you need to do some additional formatting or make other modification to the objects in a collection. Suppose consider this get process command. It gives all the processes that are running on your machine. So when I type it with for each object and write the name of this, so it takes the name from the get process, and for each name it changes the foreground color to cyan. Let us see this. See, all the process names that are running on our system are foregrounded with the color cyan. Let us just see what is the output of get process. So using the for each object, I have eliminated or skipped all these other columns and used only the name column by providing get in my write host. This is how we can use the for each object. And coming to the scripts, the first script I will be explaining you is the find pattern. This script takes in the path and pattern from user and provides the list of files which contain that word in the given path. We currently use Agent Ransack for this, but the software is really slow. Instead, this script gives the results very quickly. Let us run this script. So to open any of the files that exist on your system, you can use this open and select the script that you want to open. So here is the script that I'll be explaining you now. This param tags takes the parameters from users. The get location, because here we are changing the path to navigate to the path provided by user. To check the pattern, we'll be taking the current path, and after the checking of pattern is over, we'll navigate back to the current path. To run this script, I'll be giving the path and also I'll be providing a pattern or the word hello. So these both files, the text.txt and the test1, have this word hello. And the next script I'll be showing you is search if the given file exists in the given path. This script shows if the given file exists in the given path. If the file exists in the path, it prints your file exists. The param tag to take the input from user, path and the file name. As already mentioned, we get the current working path and we navigate to the path provided by user. We get all the items in that path provided by user, and for each item we'll check the name of the item with our current file name. If they match, we will write your file exists and then we'll navigate to our current working directory. Let us run this and see. So to provide parameters, I'll be taking this path and my file name is test.txt. See, your file exists in the path. And coming to the third script, it is the sum of n numbers. From user, I'll be taking n and provide the user the sum of 1 to n numbers. For this, I initialize the variable I and I want it to be int. In PowerShell, the data types are enclosed in square braces and the variable starts with a dollar. So I declare two variables, $I and $sum, and I initialize them to 0. So I loop this I till the value of n and I add the value of I to sum for the each iteration. Let us see this. So when I run this script, I provide n as my 5 and sum of 1 to 5 is 15. This is how the script works. Using PowerShell, we can also write classes and create objects for those classes and can be used in other classes as well. Writing your own class. A class always starts with the keyword class followed by the name of that class. At the top of the class, we give all the properties of the class and we can write the constructors in the class that takes a 0 parameters and also parameters. In the constructor, I initialized the properties of the class and I have given some member functions that does some functionality to the class. So if we see this, here is my class which says sum of numbers. In this, I can either provide the numbers from my during runtime. If not, this 0 parameters constructor will be called and my numbers will be initialized to 5. To run this class, I ran this class. Now I need to create object for this class. To create object, I say object name equals new object and the name of this class. So if I want to pass any parameters to the class, I say new 2, 3. Now if you see the $obj, it says A is 2 and B is 3. Now I want the member function to call. So I say dot add. So it said this dot A plus this dot B is 2 plus 3, that's 5. If I do not pass any parameters, that is if I skip this new part and say only object, the 0 parameter constructor will be called and the values will be initialized to 5. Now using the classes that .NET provides, first one I'll be saying is the array class. To know if the class exists in PowerShell, you can just say array in square braces, and here if you see the base type is system.object. That means array is a class. To know the member functions of array, we say get member, and I want the static member functions, so I give this. My array class has all these functions: sort, reverse, resize, that I can use. So in this I'll be using few. So I created an object, my array, and in the constructor I said new object, and it is the object of this list. I have two member functions. One is add and another one is array function. In the add, I send the parameter to add the element into my array. Since this array is object of array type, it has already a member function, that's add. So once I add all this, I'll be providing you the count of the array, which is also a member property, to array function to display my array, and remove at function to remove at which place we want. This takes the index value. So after removing the first element, I'll again display the array. For this, first run the class, and then we have the list demo class. that we need to create object. So I say obj2 equals new object of my class list demo. Since I need not provide any parameters, I just give this. Now I will be adding elements to my object. Now I say this array function. See, I added 2, 4 and 1 and my array elements are 2, 4 and 1. And I removed element at 1, that is 0, 1. So my 4 must be removed. After removing the element at 1, when I publish the array, it's just 2 and 1. And the next class I'll be discussing is the time zone class. We all stay in different time zones all over the world. In today's client-server technology, server can be in one time zone and client can be in another time zone. So we need all the time zones all over the globe, and this time zone info class provides all these functions for us. This is my time zone info class, and to check the member functions, I get this get member and static. These are my time zone info methods. So in this script, I have used few of the methods. First one, I took the local time. Using the getDate command, I am getting that local time into the variable local time. And using the time zone info class and using this method get system time zones, this one, I got all the time zones that are all over the world, and for each object what I did was I used this function convert time from UTC, which takes the date time and converts it to the time zone that we want. So here this get time zone gives me all the time zones. So I want to display my time in all the time zones and see what the result is. For this I used for each object. I manipulated the result of this get system time zones and I used this ID to convert time from UTC. Let us run this class. Now I create the object for this class. New object. obj3 dot get time in zones. So this is my time and the current time in different time zones. So if I am now in CST, my time would have been 2:30. Thank you for watching the video. Please provide your comments in the comment section.